Ellen Eldridge, your name, and you work for the company Target Audience magazine. How's it going these days with this magazine?
Pretty well. I not only work for it, but I own it. Target Audience magazine is a company that I started in 2007, basically with the idea that I was a writer, and not only did I want to promote my own writing, but I really wanted to get that sense of community with the internet and everything available to us now. It's pretty simple for not just writers, but musicians and fine artists as well to all kind of communicate and cross-inspire one another. So that's the basic gist of what I'm doing with the medium of a print magazine. We also have projects like the Art and Poetry Project that we're just really getting underway. We can have poets submit a poem, and then we'll send that out to a group of different fine artists, and they can feel inspired by the poem and create a painting or even take a photo or make some kind of tangible fine art inspired by it, or the other way around, have a poet write something inspired by a painting. So I think it really just works to further the creativity and all that we're doing.
Your website, is it you that built it yourself and all the ideas laid out on it?
Actually, Jeremy Fox of AtlantaMetal.com, he, for a short while, was running a company where he was helping others build websites, and I worked with him. He did a great deal of the design on the current website that we have. I definitely recommend his work. I don't know if he's taking on new work, but because AtlantaMetal.com has just really taken off. But I am in the process now of working. Myself and another web designer are going to be rebuilding a new site that we're going to unleash no later than September. So yes and no.
Yeah. So with your schedule, Ellen, how busy is it, with working for an online magazine to keep it fresh and updated?
Oh, it's incredibly difficult. I strive, of course, my ultimate goal is to make sure that the quarterly issues are really what stands out. And I do have a small staff of volunteers. Currently, I haven't granted anybody else access to publishing on the website, which is something I may change in the future. So it's a matter of juggling things. If I'm going to go out and shoot a show one night, then I can't be putting up new works. Ideally, we try and get the website updated monthly. We've got a featured artist every quarter, a featured poet, and then we try and do indie spotlights for musicians. That'll just rotate, sometimes as much on a weekly basis, depending on who's trying to get into the indie spotlight.
Do you find that today's indies, for bands and stuff, independent people, that they have a big following, and that brings a lot of people to your magazine?
Yes, certainly the bands that have larger followings bring more traffic to the site. The people who, obviously, if, like Bumblefoot, Ron Thal with Guns N' Roses now, his fans are going to be coming to the site to read our interview that we just did for the spring issue. The whole idea isn't necessarily about how much traffic I can get for the website, but really it's an attempt to really promote the people who are starting out, and to not just promote them and have interviews that may or may not be helpful, but to provide information, like asking questions about people who've gotten endorsements, so that other people can say, hey, maybe I need to get my stuff on YouTube and get a bigger name for myself so that maybe one day I can get an endorsement. I just really want to kind of give back and have a circle of, community, of information.
What do you think of Facebook and Twitter, let's say, for a big, free advertising base for your magazine?
Oh, they're great. Everybody should definitely take advantage of the free social networking that's available. One thing that I would recommend for bands is not to get too bogged down with, staying up all night, adding friends, and begging people to check out your bands on MySpace. It's good to have those kinds of sites and get exposure, but it may or may not be in your best interest to spend hours, quote-unquote, adding friends. I think it's much more important to make a real and defined connection with your audience so that the people who are listening to your music and who are digging it will get out and come to the shows and really support the band and become a fan and not just another number on a MySpace or a Facebook page. But they're definitely excellent tools if they're used properly.
You know, the people that add friends and waste time doing that, they don't interact with the people.
Exactly. You're better off practicing solos or, practicing your craft rather than just adding friends. Even for the MySpace for Target Audience magazine, I'll use it to do updates, and I'll try and get in there and post every time I do a new interview, and certainly every time we have a new issue. But it's just to get the Google hits and everything. Mostly it's word of mouth. And, it'll catch on more and more, and people will start picking it up. Certainly when we did the Megadeth interview with Chris Broderick, I didn't have to do a great deal of promotion, and it was on Megadeth.com and all that kind of stuff.
What's your future for this summer going on with this magazine? Are you already prepared for what's coming?
Yes, we just released, like I said, we just put the spring issue out. It's available online at www.targetaudience.magazine.com. It does say suggested donation, but it's all about supporting each other. It's available to read for free. Now that the issue is available online, in addition to building the new site that we'll release by fall, I am organizing the content for the summer issue. So now is the time where I go through the requests, bands that want to be interviewed or people who want to send a book or a CD for review, and I start passing those things out among the staff writers that I have and among myself for which I'm going to do the review for. All that should be set probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks, and then we really concentrate on working on the layout. My art director and her staff will lay out the magazine, and then our interns that we're going to have by June, they'll be going through and actually, helping us copy it and do things like that. More of the things that it's just time-consuming, and I don't want to put out anything that's not going to be quality. So I really need more and more eyes going through it.
TargetAudienceMagazine.com. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Keep on doing the great work you're doing.
All right. Well, thank you, Jason.